Hi, it's Mike Ferry, and welcome back to Mike Ferry TV. We've been talking for virtually several weeks now about productivity. Obviously, that's what we talk about. How to get more listings, how to make more sales, how to make more money. And I came across some notes that I had written many, many years ago. I used to do a little 3-day seminar for real estate agents called Creating Profitability. And we did it probably 12, 15 times in the early 90s. And I have no idea why I stopped doing it, because it was all designed around how do we help you as a real estate agent maximize your income and maximize your profit. Well, I have no idea why I had that particular file on my desk this morning. And I opened it up and I came across one of the papers that I had written, which I want to share with you today. And it's titled 11 Reasons Why Most People Never Become Financially Successful. Now, 11 reasons why. There's probably 1,000 reasons why we don't become financially successful. But I've defined 11 because I think they can relate to what you and I do as real estate professionals. Let's go through them together. Here's what I wrote down as number one. Why we don't become financially successful. Number one, they haven't defined what financial success means to them. How simple is that one? The blinding flash of the obvious. We've never sat down with this piece of scratch paper and a pen and said, financial success means that I'm earning $5,000 a month because my expenses are $4,000 a month, and that gives me $1,000 a month to save, to invest, to enjoy with my family. That's it. That's the definition that you would have for yourself. Or my goal is to earn $100,000 a year, or my goal is to earn $1 million a year, and here's how I'm going to do that, and here's what it means. Or in essence, do you have any goals that are driving you to become more successful today financially than you have been in the past? Second reason why, they continually make success financially a moving target. Now, when I say that, how much do you want to earn this year? $500,000. 2 months later, well, how you doing? I'm doing terrible. I've lowered it to $200,000. What? How do you drop from $500,000 to $200,000? Best example I can give you. I was coaching a lady from the Northwest. Her goal was to make $600,000 for the year. Very good agent and very doable on her part. Well, on June 30th, I called her and said, how are you doing? She goes, oh my gosh, unbelievable. I said, why? She said, I've already closed and been paid $400,000 in the first 6 months. So of course, I'm thinking now she can make $800,000, surpass her goal by $200,000. Well, I contact her in mid-December. Well, how have you done the last 6 months? Well, I made the extra $200,000 to reach my goal of $600,000. See, instead of solidifying and making the target something that you can accomplish, she had a moving target. I don't have to do as much. I've already accomplished most of my goal. You got to solidify the goals you have to solidify the level of success you want. I wrote down number 3. They've defined financial success in ways that are impossible to achieve. I see this every day in our coaching. Mike, I'm joining your coaching. I did 10 deals last year. I want to do 100 this year. What kind of drugs are you on? What have you been thinking about? Whose motivational hype seminar have you been attending? I mean, that doesn't even make any sense whatsoever to even think like that. You've got to have very definite, very specific, achievable goals that you set for yourself so you can feel good about the process you're going through. Number 4, they don't believe they can do it, so they never start. We see this all the time. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, most agents are getting ready to get going, to begin, to get moving, to do something, maybe tomorrow if they have the time. If you don't believe that you can make that 100, 300, 500,000, you're never going to start. And if you don't believe it, why are you writing that down as a goal that you've set for yourself? I wrote down number 5, they never make it an absolute must to achieve financial success. Most people just want to get by. Most people want to make a living. Most people want to pay their bills. They live from paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. That's called human nature. Nothing wrong with it. It's okay. You don't have to live like that. You have to make financial success in your life a priority. Well, Mike, what about the rest of my life? We're talking about financial success. We're not talking about how good you feel physically or mentally. Yes, you have to be balanced in life, but if you don't have financial success, guess what? You're not going to have the things you want in life. Number 6, they never create a realistic plan to follow. If you want to do 100 deals, you have to take so many listings, make so many sales. You have to have so many appointments. You have to go on, work with so many buyers, so many sellers. You have to spend so much time prospecting, generate so many leads. Hey, if you don't have a plan, for what you're trying to accomplish, what's the point of going ahead and trying to accomplish anything? Number 7, they don't execute on their plans. At our Superstar Retreat in July and October of 2013, I said, okay, now let's think it through. We have to be mentally tough. We have to have the skills to go out and work. And then we actually have to do something. We have to do something every day. Every day, you and I are responsible for our financial success. If we don't execute on the plans or we don't have the plans, what kind of a chance do we have? Number 8, they fail to take responsibility for their finances. It's always somebody else's fault. Wait a minute. If you've got a backlog of bills, the things that you bought them. Nobody forced you to buy them. Nobody put a hammer on your fingertip and said, buy these or else. See, we have to be responsible for our finances. If we're spending all of our money, I remember I had a fellow that worked for me years ago, a nice guy. And he told me his primary goal was to try to make 10% more in income than his wife spent. And I looked at him, I said, you're kidding, aren't you? He goes, no, I'm dead serious. I try to earn 10% more than she spends. I said, well, that's financially irresponsible. He goes, that's my wife. Well, is that really the way you want to live your life? I don't think so. Number 9, they give up every time they face a major challenge in earning money. There's a lot of roadblocks in life. There's a lot of roadblocks in earning money. There's a lot of wonderful opportunities. There's a lot of challenges. But if you're going to give up every time you face a challenge, I mean, a listing expires or a buyer cancels an appointment, a deal falls apart, you have a bad week or a bad month and you give up, that isn't going to work financially long term. Number 10, they don't run their life like a business that is there to create profits. See, in a real business, your only job is to create revenue, to support the company you operate with and within, and to make a profit to reinvest to keep growing. That's what businesses do. You have to think like a business person if you're going to make substantial profits. And then, of course, number 11, why most people never become financially successful. They spend more than they earn. It's not complicated. You know, you're earning $4,000 a month, you're spending $5,000. Well, unless you're the government, that doesn't work too well, does it? So what I want you to do is, here we are now starting the second quarter of 2014, start thinking about the fact that we have 7 or 8 months to become financially stable and financially successful. Let's not let the opportunity slip by. Let's look at ourselves with a little more critical eye. Let's be a little more tough on ourselves. Let's hold ourselves more accountable to the fact that if I do this job every day, I am going to win long term. And that's what we're here for. Talk to you next week.